Then tell us about the construction. During the construction phase, the actual construction phase, there's a long list. That
I think there's 17 is what we put down. I'll probably not try to, if you want me to try to hit all 17, or I'll summarize?
Why don't you just try to summarize?
Okay. Well, there's a lot. Like building a home, there's a whole lot of parts and pieces that need to come together. And you know, you start from day one, you roll out and you have a site that is tree covered, that needs to be cleared in the proper manner to meet the erosion control requirements of the property, and to make sure you're not getting into places you shouldn't, like the wetland boundaries and the streams.
Right.
But in brief sequence, you clear and kind of mass grade the site to get main erosion and controls in place to satisfy requirements to keep your site contained, so you're not shedding things off your site. Once those controls are in place and the trees are gone and some of the main grading is out of the way, you move into the installation of the deepest items. So you've got your storm pipes and infrastructure that has to go in the ground to convey the storm water. Kind of above that, the next layer of the cake is the sewer system. Those pipes, the sanitary sewer system goes in the ground. Above that, you've got the water delivery system. Once those are in place, then you again do some grading on the site to get it balanced, to get it very close to what the contours of the finished site would be. And then you put in the curb and gutter of the road. You do a bit more grading and some more cleanup, and you put in the stone layer of the road. You have some tests.
Which when the gravel goes down, when the base gravel goes down the road, that to me is the first time I feel like I can take a deep breath.
That lightens the developer's heart right
like,
there.
Okay,
right.
For the first time in this whole process, I'm almost in control.
Yes.
I'm almost in control.
Because that's exactly right. And in control means like building a house. And I think this is one of the reasons I love what we do, is we are one of the last industries that builds things by hand and outside. There's nearly no other product that Americans buy that is made in front of them. And the neighborhood they live in is built in front of them. And the homes they buy are definitely built right in front of their eyes. And that's a very unique experience if you consider all the other things you purchase in your life. But you're open to the elements as a result. Wind, rain, lightning, hopefully no hurricanes, but on occasion we have remnants of them blow through here.
And when you're digging in the earth, I mean, you can find all kinds of nasty surprises. There usually is a surprise somewhere. You can have running sand. You can have whatever.
Clays.
I mean, it's just amazing what you can run into.
Absolutely, and they all react adversely to the weather. And so it is a moving target for doing land development like home building. You have to adjust to the elements and you have to adjust to what you're given in the schedule. But as you move through that, ultimately you get to the point where the stone goes down. And I think in most people's minds, that's when the place starts to look like a neighborhood, because they can see the road. They can kind of drive in and get a sense of, oh, okay, now I get it. It's gone from being on paper to being able to picture their home on a lot. And many times that's just the time when we're getting with the builder. The builder and their salespeople are also, for the first time, after having gone on a lot of faith, what this community is going to look like, they're able to see it and now start to paint a picture for a buyer, that marketing picture of what a buyer is going to have, where their home is going to sit.
Yeah, and that's typically when we'll start our interest list for the community. Again, they really don't have an interest until they see that road cut in. And then once they see that road cut in, then they start asking questions, and we develop an interest list at that point. Yeah,
because before then, it kind of looks like a whole lot of muddy dirt.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But once the curb and gutter's down, the gravel's down, they can drive in. It's a whole lot easier to visualize. And of course, you run into that also sometimes, I'm sure, with your plans. Some people are not able to look at a plan and really think three-dimensional. So the same thing happens with the land. You can show them a schematics all you want, and you can even color them if you want. But until the gravel goes down, the base gravel goes down, people just typically can't visualize what's about to happen.
And if you look at it this way, it's typically one of the largest investments that a buyer is going to make in their life. And so while we can show them a plan all day long, with that type of investment, they typically want to be able to walk it and see it, which makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And the cost of it, which I think most home buyers never in some ways realize, is about a third of what they're buying probably is the land and all of the work we're in the process of describing here
Right.
under that home.
Right.
And but again, they kind of see it after the fact. Once the road's in and they're already driving on it and there's already grass growing and the entryway's in, it kind of feels like a done deal at
Right.
that point. But it's all part of the home building package ultimately.
And then, but even at that point, we get to that point which we all begin to celebrate a little bit, or at least breathe deeper again. So, well, there's still a lot of work to
Absolutely.
get the development complete.
I was going to say, you might breathe deeper, but I'm just getting started at that point.
That's just ready to roll. Yeah.
Yes, that's true.